March 31st is a day that has different meanings to different people. You may celebrate your birthday on March 31st. My mom sure does. Happy birthday, Mom. You may use March 31st as the day where you prepare your pranks for April Fools. But March 31st will be a quite impactful day for a group of people, aka Nintendo fans, as Nintendo makes this day full of hatred, manipulation, and disgust, laying the Infinity Gauntlet and snapping it on the Mario franchise, getting rid of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch System, Super Mario Makers Online, and Super Mario 35 as a whole. Today I'm going to be going over each of these disappearances, and I'm going to give you my detailed opinions on them. Let's begin with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, since this is the one that I really want to talk about, because it's just the one that I have the most to talk about on. Before starting to actually talk about the actual collection, we need to get something out of the way. Nintendo has gone to shit. So, to prove my point, let's go way back in the 1980s. Okay, I'm gonna stop with the Clone High reference. Nintendo released Super Mario Bros., which is one of the most revolutionary games of all time, since it saved gaming as a whole. We wouldn't have games like The Witcher 3, we wouldn't have games like Portal 2, or Cyberpunk. Okay, I wish we never had that one, but you get my point. This game just saved the gaming industry, and it became really iconic as it is, spawning a new genre called the 2D platformer, being really revolutionary, and introducing new mechanics like jumping, running, and the detail on the game was insane at the time. The jump from Atari to NES, while yes, being still very blocky, it was still, you could tell that that was a plumber. You can tell that he was jumping, you can tell that it was basically all happening in front of you. On Atari it was like, this is a square. The square is supposed to be a human. And it's not even Minecraft. Let's get back on topic. Of course, Super Mario released games that got better and better since video games were constantly progressing. It was basically like puberty. You were growing really fast, and you were getting better and better and better. Well, yes, it's pretty hard to innovate nowadays since we basically have realistic graphics now, and you can't really improve that much. But, you know, you can make your game feel different. Like Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, and Super Mario World all feel like different because they have different art styles, different mechanics, and they have their own little thing that they just nail. For example, Super Mario World had Yoshi, Super Mario Bros. 3 had the Tanuki suit, Super Mario Bros., the original one, had the mushroom, Super Mario Bros. 2 had the throwing mechanics. It was basically all fresh. The games didn't feel the same, and they could stand out on their own as being really good games. Then Super Mario made its jump onto handheld consoles with Super Mario Land, being again a really revolutionary title for the Game Boy, and its sequel being on par with Super Mario World graphics-wise. But unfortunately, that Game Boy game was basically the last 2D Mario game for a while. Until we got the revolution on the DS, New Super Mario Bros. It was a revolutionary game launching Mario into the modern era, back with a 2D platformer, introducing new mechanics, new power-ups, and basically new music, visuals, and a 2.5D perspective. It was fresh for the series, and everyone loved it. It sold like hotcakes, and everyone knew this game. It was the talk of the town. And then they made a new one, and another one, and another one, and they released the other one again. You see where I'm going with here? These games, while the first one was incredibly revolutionary in its own way, the other ones just kind of ride the coattails of it and don't really add that much to it to make it different. This is Super Mario Bros. This is Super Mario World. This is New Super Mario Bros. Wii. This is New Super Mario Bros. U. I can't even tell a difference. While yes, the games themselves are actually really good and the level design is really good, they just feel the same. They have the same visuals, the same music, the same power-ups. They may add a very small gimmick here and there, like collecting coins or having a new power-up, but that's really it. It doesn't change the game that much, and it's really uninteresting. You know, I rest my case with Mario. Let's go on to Pokemon. Pokemon used to be a giant in the 90s, with the game on Game Boy being like 9 years into the console's lifespan and still selling millions on top of millions of units. The game carried on to Game Boy Advance, where you can see a clear evolution, with the game looking better than ever, sprite work, color work, everything was new and fresh, and it was just different and fun. It also jumped into the third dimension with Pokemon Stadium being one of my favorite Pokemon games on the Nintendo 64, since it was just really fun to play. Then they made these 3D games on the 3DS, which were revolutionary. Sun and Moon, they were great games, not to mention Omega Ruby and Omega Sapphire. And then they made one for the Switch. They lied about this. Sword and Shield is a huge lie because the developers literally said that they were going to make new models from scratch, and they're literally reusing models and animations from the 3DS games, and they're not even trying to hide it. The combat is just really boring and unpolished. You can easily just abuse attacks over and over again with no balance, no strategy, and just mindless button mashing, not like other Pokemon games which were actually refined. While yes, they're making a DLC, I doubt that they would fix the game, and I just think that they would make the game even longer, which it doesn't need to be. I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to look at these graphics anymore. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I don't like this. I rest my case on Pokemon. Now let's go on to the meat and potatoes, collections. Nintendo made a lot of banger collections. For example, Super Mario All-Stars. They remade the Super Mario games on the Nintendo Super thing. They were really good. While they changed a few physics and all that, I feel like they stood true to their formula. The visuals were updated, the games were there. They even made a bundle that contained the new Super Mario game at the time, Super Mario World. It was truly a great experience, and I wish more people got to experience as it was. Then, Nintendo saw that, and they put it on Wii. Well, that was a fucking lazy thing, because they changed nothing about the game, not even the graphics. Instead of resembling Super Nintendo controllers, they should have resembled Wii controllers, but they don't because they were literally too lazy to change that basic thing. And while yes, you may think that this is a slap in the face, what did they include extra? Soundtrack CD. And most of the things aren't even like actual songs, they're just 1 to 2 second sound effects. So you basically just got ripped off. But you know why I don't think it's as bad as 3D All-Stars? Simple. Instead of being $60, it was $30 at launch, which made it a bit more worth it. Instead of getting ripped off with $60, it's better to get ripped off with $30, you know? But Nintendo redeemed themselves with the Kirby collection. This collection is what Super Mario 3D All-Stars should have been. The presentation is new and fresh. It has a lot of information to shower us with new content that we didn't know before. Did you know that Barack Obama is in Kirby canon lore? Yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. You even had episodes of the Kirby anime to watch. That is actually a really cool novelty. Plus on top of loads of games to play, and you got yourself a really good collection. What did 3D All-Stars do? Nothing. The presentation is literally stale PNGs. While yes, the PNGs have clean, I can just fucking Google that and find a clean PNG. It's not that impressive, Nintendo. Yes, it includes soundtrack, but I can listen to it for free on YouTube. Never mind. You see, I fucking despise this game because it's a slap in the face. You get $60 for nothing. You pay $60 to literally get nothing. An emulator with games that are like slightly upscaled, if they're barely upscaled. It doesn't have any new content. It doesn't have any soul or passion put into it. It's just a cash grab. It's just disgusting in my opinion. Easily one of the worst things Nintendo has ever done. Hotel Mario feels better than this. And yeah, basically said it. This game sucks, and it just shows how much Nintendo has actually gone to shit, doing more anti-consumer practices than actually consumer-friendly practices, and caring more and more about money than providing actual good games and collections. I personally think that this game's disappearance makes me really happy, because I just want to see this game burn to death. This game is nothing but hatred for me. It just shows that Nintendo isn't as good as it used to be. Nintendo just adopted the EA thing and decided to just start making games that are shitty, unfinished, and unpolished out of the blue. Most of the games that they make now are really mediocre, but you know what helps them? the amazing game that they make at once. For every Super Mario Tennis Aces that they make a Super Mario Odyssey once. And then the people think Nintendo is good again, you know? That's basically their strategy. Make shitty game after shitty game after shitty game, then make an actually good gem that beats like every single game in its genre, then just be held as this huge company from over there. That's basically their strategy in my opinion. But let's get back to 3D All-Stars. 3D All-Stars is a huge slap in the face, as I said earlier. And I like to see its disappearance. I want to see the game burn. I want to see the game die. I have a pure hatred for the game. I want it to go away. I don't want to see it in my eShop. I don't want to see it in my store. I don't want to see it anywhere. I just want to see it in the grave, forgotten and unloved, as it should be. But for the consumers, however, no. I don't think getting it off was a good decision. You see, this was a pandemic. A lot of people in the pandemic cared more about their health and their resources than actual video games. A lot of people were low on money and they used the $60 they could have bought the game with to actually buy food. And they probably wanted to buy the game a bit later when they stood better with money. But Nintendo is just pulling the game all of a sudden, making it for consumers really hard to buy because they just want the consumers to just buy the game now and the game sales to skyrocket, which isn't a good strategy, Nintendo. Let me tell you, it's really anti-consumer and it's just fucking despiteful and evil. Wow, that was a long rant about Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Let's go on to talking about the disappearance of the Super Mario Game & Watch system. I don't fucking care, okay? I think the Game & Watch system for Super Mario was kind of a scam, because you just got the original 2 games and a clock. While yes, the novelty is you had a Game & Watch, at the same time I think the full retail price of $60 is a bit too much for that, and it isn't really that special or anything. You're just playing the 2 games on an emulator and you have a clock. But seriously, you can buy a $5 clock off the Nintendo eShop on Nintendo 3DS, which is better than this. Give me a break, Nintendo. Yeah, of course, novelty item and all that, but it's just really, really shitty. There's nothing here. You're just playing 2 old games that have been played to death, and you get something that isn't actually that interesting or cool. While yes, there's the How to Draw Mario Easter egg, it isn't that big of a deal. But you know what I can appreciate? Is the fact that they actually included an Easter egg. You know, in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, they included nothing. Literally fucking nothing. You got nothing of a game, nothing of a collection. You got nothing. No information, no fun stuff. It's just nothing. Yeah, the ramble about Super Mario Game & Watch was quite short. Let's go on to Super Mario Maker's Online going away. Yeah, I think this is an understandable decision. What is there even to say about this? No one plays the game anymore. Everyone transitioned to Super Mario Maker 2 because it literally has more content than the first game, and people are just playing the shit out of the game because the game is really popular. So is the Switch. The Switch is selling like hotcakes, the game is selling like hotcakes. Everyone forgot that the first one probably even existed. Like, I'm pretty sure 90% of you haven't even touched the game since the second one has released, which is completely understandable. So yeah, that decision completely makes sense. I'm surprised that they didn't even pull it earlier, but at the same time, this is probably one of the good things Nintendo has done, because there's some people who don't really want to pay for Switches Online, so they play older games, and while yes, Switches Online was kind of shitty when it came out, it's just $20 1 year. It's really cheap. Like, if you can, pick it up. And finally, I want to talk about Super Mario 35. I'm genuinely sad about this game going away. I feel like it had a lot of potential because, while the game is literally just you playing Super Mario Bros, but some 3-year-old kid spams enemy like in a Super Mario Maker level, it's fun, okay? It's pretty fun. The game was competitive, it felt fresh, it felt like Tetris 99, but with Super Mario. And it was a pretty good decision since the game actually has a scoring system that is different and that makes it really, really fun. Heck, you're playing the original Super Mario Bros, which technically makes you play half of the Super Mario Game & Watch's games. Wow, how cool, Nintendo. I could pay for this but also get it for free. Legally, without ROMs. You're just making a fool out of yourself. Okay, seriously though, I kinda sad about this game, but at the same time, I kind of agree with its shutdown since the game takes servers to run. But I mean, they could have just used the same servers as Tetris 99. Tetris 99 keeps running, but this game's gonna die, which makes me kind of sad, but at the same time, it's kind of understandable. So yeah, this was the video basically. I like rambling about video games, okay? Don't judge me. I'm probably gonna go get some food from over here. I can't get food from downstairs because, as I told you, my wife's gonna call the police. Even though I locked the kids by accident, but at the same time, I don't know what to fucking do. Please genuinely help me somehow, because I don't know what to do.